Did you know that there's a variety of sensory integration activities that you can do with your child in order to help boost their speech, language, communication skills?
It's true, and we're going to talk about that today. But first, I'm Jessica.
And I'm Rachel, and we're the in-house occupational therapy experts here at Harkla.
All right, so we are going to talk all about how sensory activities affect speech and language development. Now, over the last 11 years that we've been working with children and families, we have seen this happen where we are working with a child who's struggling with language development, and we do some sensory activities with them, and all of a sudden they are communicating with us, or they're saying new words and new sentences, and we just see this huge boost. And it's something that I love collaborating with speech and language pathologists on is, hey, here are some ideas to do sensory activities with your speech clients and see if you noticed an increase in their speech and language development, because it really does work.
So let's jump into our first activity, which is swinging. We love swinging because it provides vestibular input, and we have a direct connection between speech and language and communication skills and vestibular input. So we will see when we are swinging our clients, especially our clients who are pre-verbal and they don't have any verbal communication skills yet, we'll see more imitation and more sounds and more joy coming from them. And it's just a really simple way to boost language in a really simple, effective way.
Yes, and if you can add music along with the swinging, even better.
And not even like turn on a CD player. People use CD players.
I don't know. I was just about to ask that.
Turn on the CD player. No, it's like sing an interactive song, like five
ABCs.
little.
Oh, that one too.
Like five little monkeys jumping on the bed, and then when the monkey falls off, you fall off the swing and you crash, and then you get back up, and then it's four monkeys and so forth.
Such a good one.
So those interactive songs are really helpful to do as well.
Alphabet's also pretty good.
Or if you want to turn on a CD player, you can too.
Good luck. The next activity that we love is messy play activities. This can be with water. Water play is a really easy one to do that you then incorporate a variety of toys that you can start talking about and playing with to boost that language development. We also love shaving cream, messy food play without any expectation to eat, but just getting messy and playing with it. And then always incorporating some sort of toy, whether it's cars or animals or blocks, and then you can start building and talking about those toys with that messy tactile play, because really speech and language is a multi-sensory process. So it's not just what we hear or what we say, it's also the visual, it's also the tactile and the movement. So we really want to incorporate it all if we can.
Why not? Going along with that, we love vibration as well. So there's full body plates that you can stand on that vibrate the whole body. There's intraoral vibration probes like the Z-Vibe that you can get inside the mouth and increase that oral awareness, the proprioceptive awareness. You can help them move their tongue into different positions as well, because in order to communicate verbally, we need to be able to move our tongue to hit these different spots in our mouth, and vibration can be a really great, effective way to do that.
Yes. All right, next is primitive reflex integration. And if you have been with us for any amount of time, you know that we love talking about primitive reflexes, but there is a direct connection between speech and language development and retained primitive reflexes, because retained primitive reflexes really cause our brain and our body to be stuck in a more primitive state where we can't access the higher levels of our brain, which we need in order to communicate. So if your child is struggling with speech and language, definitely look into primitive reflexes.
Okay, the next one is really simple, but probably one of, I don't know, they're all my favorites, but I really like this one. It's just going outside. Being outside in nature is a multi-sensory experience. It's a full body experience. It is just a simple way to see things, to describe things, to communicate about what's going on, looking up, getting visual, tactile, auditory. So much is happening when we're outside, and it's a great way that you can just go for a walk. You can talk about the things that you see, you hear, you smell, you see, I think I already said see, you feel, all the things, but you can just describe it all. And whether you're just taking your baby on a walk and you're talking about the color of the trees and the birds that you're listening to, or if you're, going on a walk with a client who's older, you can do the same thing. And it's so simple, but it's, what do I say? Simplicity is the highest form of elegance.
Well,
and that is this.
I also think too, anytime you're outside, you are going to be more regulated. And when your child's nervous system is more regulated, they are more likely to be able to communicate with you, whether that's through speech or with a device. But if they're regulated, they're going to communicate with you, right? Yeah. So I think that's huge when you're outside.
Yeah. Okay, the next one is, this is for babies and for younger children, but singing to them, narrating what you do. One of my favorite things to do with my own kids was to take them with me, and we'd go around the house and we'd go on like a museum hunt, and we'd find different things like, oh, here's the light switch. Would you want to flip on the light switch? It goes on and off, and going into the closet and pulling out some gift wrap and talking about, oh, this is a tube. You can talk into it, and you can wrap, and you can crawl on it. And there's just so many things that benefit from just narrating what you do. If you're cooking a meal for any age child, you can talk about what you're doing. I'm chopping the onions, and I'm putting them in the pan, and they're sizzling or simmering. What's the word?
Both, depending on how you're cooking them.
But you just describe, and you have those experiences, those multi-sensory experiences. I've really lost it now, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think, especially with babies and young children, it's so easy to forget that we need to talk to them, especially babies, because they don't really talk back. Or if you have a child who is non-speaking, they don't necessarily talk back. So it can be so easy to forget that we still need to be talking and interacting with them, and describing things to them and having conversations with them, because even in infancy, those conversations are the building blocks to future communication.
I did have a friend tell me one time that when she takes her daughters on a walk, she just pops in a podcast and listens to her podcast, and she's like, it's great. And I'm like, that is a great option, but also you can use those experiences and those times together to talk to them about what you're seeing and what you're hearing and what you have to do during that day. So while it's great for that side of calming your own nervous system, but also you can use those experiences to boost brain development as well. So just food for thought.
The next one, don't get mad at us, is to turn off the TV, turn off the screens, and just spend some quality time playing with your child, following their lead. What are they interested in? What do they gravitate toward, whether it's a sensory activity like the swing or messy play, or if it's more of like a quiet play activity with like trucks, cars, or building blocks.
Or pretend play.
Pretend play with like a play kitchen, whatever it is, follow their lead. Make sure that you are interacting with what they are interested in. You can ask them questions about the play, just anything that comes to mind, or you don't even have to say anything. You can just be there with them. And this will boost some speech and language development, communication skills.
Yes. And really the last one here is just to take the time to explain things to them. If your child is in the phase of asking why 1,000 times, or they're, repetitively talking to you and asking questions, instead of just giving them a nonchalant answer, because that's what you do, instead of saying something like that, take the time to sit down and really explain to them how something works, or why you decided to do it this way, or what the recipe says. Sometimes just slowing down and explaining different situations to your child, whether they can communicate verbally to you or not, can be really beneficial. And we always want to presume competence. Even with our children who are pre-verbal and they don't use verbal communication, we want to treat them as if they are their age, and we want to communicate to them like that. And we don't want to dumb down the things that we say because we think that they don't understand us. That is so far from what we should be doing. So just keep that in mind. Even the next time you see a child maybe in the community, talk to them like they are their age and be really respectful of that.
Now, if you have a child and you are concerned about their speech and language development, make sure that you talk to your pediatrician and get a referral for speech therapy. That is really the best route to go when you are looking at like a speech language communication disorder.
And if you are concerned, make sure that you do try some of these activities and see if they make a difference. We love sharing this type of information, so let us know if it was helpful.
Yes, if it was helpful, leave us a comment, click the like button, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And if you're looking for more content, more ideas, definitely make sure you listen to our podcast as well, All Things Sensory by Harkla. We We have our own YouTube channel. We have our own podcast channel on all major podcast platforms.
Yep, and make sure you're following us on Instagram. We're at Harkla_family, as well as at All Things Sensory Podcast.
And with that, we'll plan on seeing you next week for another video.
Okay, bye.
I'm chopping the onions.
I didn't know what was next.
That was awkward. I'm spitting a little bit. I'm so sorry. Sometimes